Hey, what is going on, everyone? Joe here, and today we are diving into Everything is Crab, a very interesting action roguelike where every single time you level up, you are evolving a different part of your body. So every run, you're a completely different monster. You know what they say, new year, new me. We are starting 2026 off with a bang, jumping into a game I have been very excited for. This is the playtest, which is available to everybody. So I've got the link to that down below in the description. Let's jump into a run here. I have not played this game yet, but it looks like every single time we beat a difficulty, we unlock another one, which means this playtest has a ton of content. We'll start with difficulty 1, set up the tutorial here, and see exactly how far we can get. All right, so this is us in all of our blobby glory. We can move around with WASD. And so the interesting thing about this game, you can be a predator, or you can also be an herbivore. You can actually change different build varieties. So if I want, I can attack these guys, get myself some meat that I can eat, and level up, or I can wait for fruit to fall off of the trees. And so we'll see what we end up specializing in. All right, so we can get a beak, long and narrow pecking attack that deals ability damage. It also allows me to feed 10% faster. Headbutt dashing attack that deals physical damage and penetrates enemy plating. Or we could get fur, gives us damage resistance and cold resistance, but it looks like it knocks out further evolutions. We can't get scales, and we can't get an exoskeleton. There's so many interesting things. All right, I'm gonna go for the fur because I don't know what attacks I want yet. But now look at us, we're furry. We're no longer slimy boys. Wait on top of food to consume it. Fill the blue progress meter by eating more food to evolve. Get away from my fruit. This is mine. You'll also be my next meal. I will never be satiated. All right, attack movement penalty. Movement speed penalty applied when executing any attack. Lower values will reduce the amount of penalty received. Okay, so we have less of a wind up, and we also get a 5% dodge chance. Attack area plus 15%. We get reach or elusive. We're smaller, but we have a higher dodge chance. All right. I want to be tiny. All right, so we're going to be really tiny and fluffy. We're going for the hamster build right now. I'm kind of living for it. Although my attack range is now incredibly small. Hey, man. I'm trying to eat here. Relax. I also have cold resistance, so we need to find somewhere where I can actually get that benefit. That looks like a desert. There's a star on the map, so I'm going to head over there and see if there's something, maybe an elite enemy. So let's try to knock him out. I'm assuming up top, kind of like Deep Rock Galactic, we've got a little bit of a meter before bosses show up. No, don't go into the desert. I'm too furry for this. Sand slows you down and deals damage during the day. Okay, I don't want to be here. He dropped a lot of things, though. Cheek pouch. We're literally becoming a hamster. I didn't even know there was a thing. Store nearby food inside of your cheeks. Stored food will be consumed at the same rate. We can get damage resistance or plating. Or we can get antlers. I gotta go with the cheek pouch. That's so stupid. So now we can store food in here. And there's a hole. Let's go check that out. We can get some health regeneration. We could get antlers. It's really trying to give me antlers right now. Headbutt attack that deals high physical damage, but also self-damages. So that's going to hurt me, but it's going to be really powerful. If I go for more fur, we get even more damage resistance and even more cold resistance. Right now, we're not in the right spot for this, but what I think I'm actually going to do is I'm going to get some regeneration because we're in the desert, and it says I take damage, yeah, so we'll start regenerating some health. Mud Pond. Decrease damage taken by 25% for 1 minute. Increase cold resistance and heat resistance by 10%. Or I need a tail to get this last one. All right, let's go ahead and reduce damage for a minute. And I guess the main idea, we just want to wander around and level up as much as we can. Eat some fruit, kill some baddies. It seems like these guys drop a little bit more meat. I'm going to interrupt this man's dinner. Come here. We move slower in the desert, so I got to keep that in mind. And we are taking a good amount of damage, but there's tons of food here. Okay, more eyes. That's terrifying. So we're going to get more dodge chance. We're also going to get senses. Increase the distance at which points of interest in alpha enemies are perceived. Increase the vision range during nighttime. Okay, so there's day and night. I could go physical. Increase damage dealt with physical damage attacks. So we could be a buff hamster. We have a 6-pack now. You know what? I don't see a problem with that. Most hamsters can lift many times beyond their body weight, so this is a totally accurate hamster representation. All right, I'm gonna get out of this desert. I know it's nighttime, but I don't want to keep taking damage whenever the sun comes back up. Plus, it looks like we've got a boss showing up soon. What I need is to find a way to heal, because our health is not great. Larger attack area would be fantastic. We could get spines. Return a percentage of damage taken on contact impacts. Any type of direct attack executed in melee range. Does not include damage over time effects. So if someone attacks me, they receive 30% of the damage back. That's not awful, but I think I want to go for the reach. I am taking a lot of damage, but I'd rather be able to attack them further away. That's the reach? That's barely anything. There's a hole here. Oh, I can hide. Oh, so there's going to be big monsters that show up. What are these penguins with top heads? Come here. Come here. You got to have something good. There's a big dude over there, too. He's got like an emerald on his head. All right, all right. I get it. Get out of the hole. He'll come out eventually. You've got armor. All right, keep juking. Armor's out. Oh! I want the real prize, though. I know that penguin's still in there. All right, you drop double meat. Can I push you out? No, I just have to let you go. All right, attack movement penalty goes down. My cooldowns go down as well, but I still don't have an attack. Oh, well, here's biting. Biting attack that deals physical damage. Deals double damage to stunned enemies. I don't know how to stun enemies yet. If I right-click this, it's going to tell me what we can evolve it into. We can evolve it into spit or poisonous saliva, but we'll be locked out of the beak and leech. Short-range attack that deals ability damage and drains part of it as HP. That would be nice. That would be nice, but I feel like we need a move here. So let's get Jaws. And so now I can go ahead and left-click. New attack unlocked. You can adjust your loadout during any evolution on the left panel. Drag and drop. Oh, that's cool. So we can actually equip different moves and change our loadout if we want to go back on it. That's cool. All right, cool. Fantastic. Now I'm a shark hamster. Let's try this move out. Its range is terrible. What I'm looking for is somewhere cold. We see another question mark down here, so let's make our way there. That is a bunny. I'm assuming the faster the enemy, the more experience it's going to drop. But I myself am not very quick. I'm just slithering around. Can I go in the water? Oh, wait, no. This is ice. This is exactly where we want to be. Shark. Ah! I have no range. Snow slows you down and deals extra damage. I think that said during the night. I didn't get a chance to read that. Gain a random ally. Okay, so this costs whatever money I've got. Mutagens. Gain alpha. I'm social. I'm larger. All right, let's get a random ally. All right. You're my friend now. Hopefully I don't have to feed you. All right, here is the big, oh my goodness. Ally, help! Oh my God, we died! Holy crap, that thing was crazy. All right, now that I know this game a little bit more, we're gonna try this again, but we're gonna do everything in our power not to become a cute little hamster again. You know, if it happens, it happens. No harm, no foul, but I'm gonna see what other options we can get. It does look like whenever we complete a full meal, we get 10 experience. Same thing with the fruit. Okay, so carapace, we can get some damage resistance or some plating. We could go for the antlers, but I don't like the fact that it does damage to us Or we could go for a beak. Long and narrow pecking attack that deals ability damage. So maybe that gives us a little bit more range. On the contrary, too, we could also just try not to kill anything and be as defensive as possible. I'm going to try the beak. We're going to go for the beak. And so that's not going to let us get jaws anymore, but that move kind of sucked anyway. And so we have that equipped, and it can level up into poisonous saliva or spit. Okay, all right. Nothing like spitting on my enemies. And I kind of look like Perry the Platypus, but I'm missing some limbs. Yeah, this is so much better. I mean, it seems like such a small deal, but we have so much more range with this move. In fact, I feel like I might be able to attack multiple enemies at once. Okay, so we can get plating, and that will give us extra protection to absorb some damage. If we want to be really aggressive with it, antlers again, or we could get a tail. No way, hold on. All right, so we can get a tail, and so we didn't get that last time, but it's going to give us social. Increases the chance to charm enemies with specific abilities. Also makes enemies give up on chasing faster. I'm laughing because if I get this tail, which I'm going to do, we look even more like Barry the Platypus. All right, this is the build. This is the build. I'm going to be honest, I have not watched that much Phineas and Ferb, so I will not be able to make a lot of references, but, you know, I'm going to do my best here. Saliva, so our feeding speed goes up, and we get some health regeneration. We could level up the beak. We can't go for fur. We got to go for, like, the exoskeleton or scales. Are platypuses furry? I think platypuses are furry. I don't know that much about them. All right, after taking a 2-second Google break, I do now know that platypuses are furry. So we're going for the fur. This is the platypus build. Now we just need some arms and legs. And I bet you there's a way that we can swim a little bit better too. Not sure if that's going to work too well with the build. I'm going to go down to this question mark. Honestly, getting this peck early on was an absolute game changer. There's so many different things we could do. I am curious, though. I want to see how much experience. The blue fruit gives us so much more. Okay, so we could go for the fat, and that's going to give us cold resistance, heat resistance, and more max HP. Could go for the plating or the carapace. All of these are pretty defensive. One interesting thing, if I go over here, I can actually see a breakdown on my character, and we can see what stats we're kind of leaning towards. I don't really have much of a plan yet, but I think I'm going to go for the fat just so we have some more resistance and some HP. A little bit more survivability. And so that's going to help me out in both the desert and the snow area. There are so many different things you can actually do in this game. There's also like a summoner build where you can have like a pack of animals help you out. All right, we can get a full level of progress. So I guess that's going to give us 21 experience, which doesn't seem to be that much. Or we can go ahead and just increase our physical damage. Let's do that. I see this blue fruit right here anyway, so we'll grab that. Yeah, 20 experience off of that. I don't want the antlers. It's hard for me to say I don't want a 6-pack. I feel like that's natural. Okay, let's re-roll this. Let's see what we get. We could go for herbivore, so that gives us more experience whenever we eat fruit or vegetation, but we would lose out on predator affinity-related skills. I could go for more eyes. That's going to increase our senses and our dodge, but that's also horrifying, and I don't think I would ever want to pick that. Let's go for the fur. I'm going to go for the fur, and I'm going to do something. I'm going to eat this fruit, and then I'm immediately going to go left to the snow area, because it doesn't make sense to be fuzzy and hanging out in the desert. There's just so much experience. All right, let's move. Now we can go to the cold area completely guilt-free. We have the water too, but it slows us down the deeper you go unless you have the right evolutions. Yeah, we can one-shot stuff now. Yeah, snow slows you down, and during the night, you take damage. Gain permanent max HP when health food is eaten while at maximum health. Okay, so we got to heal up, and then we can just keep getting more health and health. If we can find health regen, that's even better. All right, let's go for the lovely lady lump. Let's get some humps. We need to find a more consistent way to heal. I'm taking damage, but it's for 0? One thing that does suck, we are so incredibly slow here. I need to get a way to move faster. Yeah, so interesting. Sometimes we take damage over time, and sometimes it's negated, so it's alternating. Well, there's some health regeneration. Exactly what I need. Body slam, close range attack that deals physical damage and scales with my max HP. That would be insane. But I would need the regeneration to even get to a point where I'm building up HP to do more damage. We're going to go for health regen. Got a lot of good options here. And so our health is going to regenerate faster than we take damage. Hopefully, yeah, it's every 10 seconds. And so now I just need to make sure I eat meat. Okay. All right, calm down, Spider Yoshi. All right, so eat meat, eat meat. Our max health is going to increase. I thought. It doesn't seem like it is. When health food is eaten. So it's not all food, it's just health food. And I think that's the sparkly food. So we got to find sparkly food. All right, what is down here? Greatly increase 1 random stat or give us 5 mutagen points. So that would have been valuable last time. Let's go ahead and increase 1 random stat. Attack area. All right, so we got an even bigger beak. Shell. More damage resistance. We'd be locked out of the carapace, but we could turtle down. Become protected for a short time. Stun the enemy when blocking. I kind of want to go. I know I got reach last time, and I wasn't super impressed with it. But I feel like if we stack this up, it could end up being incredible. So I'm going to go for that. I know I'm not really picking a lot of defensive options. Will that come back to bite me? We will find out. Another random stat. Max HP. All right, so we're healthy as healthy can be. Yeah, nighttime really obscures your vision. If we go for the eyes, we would be able to see a little bit better. All right, I don't like this. Wait, so that is sparkly. So if I eat this real fast, our max HP goes up. So now it's 89. Nice. All right. So this would let us attack faster and move faster in between. I also have to remember that I can re-roll pretty often, but one thing I am curious about, it looks like the beak evolves because we have level up, star, level up. So I'm going to level up the beak. I'm going to look at it real fast because I was excited and didn't see exactly what it boosted. So my feeding speed goes up by 20%. And I also do more damage, damage scaling with my ability damage. And I think that is a stat. Yeah, right here, 11. So I can level this up, scales with the beak, and we'll be able to kill things a little bit faster. But now we're about to have our first boss. And so maybe I shouldn't be in the desert. Let's increase my health regen, and let's get the hell out of the desert fast. Oh, there's so much food here. What the hell happened? Okay, so we could spit. We could sharpen. Increase damage dealt by every contact attack. Scales with your predator affinity. Okay, so we have 0 predator affinity. We would have to go more into that, but every single time we attack, we would do more damage. We could get spit, but spitters are quitters. So this is a new attack, and I'm wondering if I could use that instead of the bop attack. Can I see what I might get if I prioritize into these? I don't think you get like a set bonus. I think it just increases the chance of you grabbing those like perks. And that's how I understand it so far. Again, I'm still learning. Let's go ahead and roll with Sharpen just because we're being really aggressive, and I feel like that's going to help me the most. It lasts for 10 seconds, and it only activates every 20 seconds. Interesting. Oh, it's an active ability. It's an ultimate. New ultimate unlocked. You can adjust your loadout during any evolution. Yeah, we know that. Okay. So there are ultimate attacks in this game. Did not realize that. So for 10 seconds, every single time I attack someone, I'm going to do even more damage. And if we level it up, it's going to further increase our predator affinity, which will further increase our damage buff scaling. But I kind of want to be a little fatty right now. Let's be a little fatty. Let's get some more health. Now we got over 100 health. We've already died once. We don't want that to happen again. Yo, we got dinner. You have so much health. Okay, we got the boss. Give me a second. I have priorities. Nice. All right, so if I get into a good spot here, I can use my ult. And so every time I attack you, we do a little bit more damage. Yeah, it's not bad. And so we see your health bar. There's also a meter below you that leads to a flag. So I wonder if you decide to be passive, you can just survive long enough until he gives up. Because again, there are some different builds in this game. You can be a summoner, you can be an herbivore. All right, what do you got for me? We've got a branching evolution. Ruminant. Every 10 seconds, gain progress equal to 4 times your prey affinity value. I see. Arms and legs! Unlocks key arm-based evolutions. Feeding distance +2, ability 2.5. There's so many evolutions of this. We can get claws, quick and agile swiping physical damage attack, pincer, pinching attack that deals ability damage with each of the 2 pincers. Toe beans! We could get toe beans. Attack that has a chance to charm the target. Scales with social. So social is a stat we have not farted around with at all. And so we can actually command monsters around us and build an army. Stoner, a high damage range attack which requires stone ammo to be used. Hold the attack button to increase distance and damage. All right, so that's cool. We could go for legs. This would build up into us potentially being able to leap, but it would lock us out of being slithery and having tentacles. And when the tentacles hit level 3, they unlock arm-based evolutions? All right, there's a lot of information to take in here. I think the arms seem more fun. We're going to go for arms. So now we got arms. We can throw hands. And we can further increase our reach. I'm gonna level up. I'm gonna level up reach. I was thinking about saliva. I also like that gives us both predator and prey affinity because that's gonna allow my ultimate to be stronger. You know what? Let's go for saliva. So now we're drooling. What we need to do is find more of this health food. And we eat really fast, too, because not only does the beak give us 20% eat speed, the saliva gives us 17%. So who needs cheek pouches? All right, I do see glowing food. So if we go over here, we can eat that. And that's going to increase our max health. And I'm hoping eventually we can get body slam again. Stinger? Slow attack that deals initial physical damage and poisons the enemy, dealing ability damage over 5 seconds. My ability isn't bad. It's 13.5. So I would have a tail and a stinger? All right. Wait, what is this? Upgrade evolutions. Spend mutagen points to improve the available evolutions by 1 rarity level. Huh, so I could do this and then maybe the stinger would be legendary. Let's try this. Yeah, okay. That's a really nice mechanic, but now it costs 20. All right, so we got a stinger. And so I'm going to swap our bop attack with the stinger. So we have leveled up our tail. We are some weird scorpion hybrid. All right, so you have armor. But I can hit you while you're punching. There's a lot going on here. Give me a second. It must get harder after you fight a boss. The 1-2 combo, if both of these moves are off cooldown, you kill things so fast. Yeah, so I have to hit this guy before he hits me. All right, awesome. It's taken us a long time to level up now, naturally. But I'm going to finish this bite. Increase my max health. We can max this out. We're not really doing a lot of physical damage. I mean, the beak scales off of physical, right? No, so the beak and the stinger both scale off of ability damage. So it doesn't make sense for me to get muscular. It's not going to help me that much. I will go ahead, max out our fat. So we've got 55 resistance for both heat and cold. A ton of health. We got a ton of food here, too. And let's just keep exploring. Try to get ourselves some of these elites. That's an elite penguin, so we know he's going to run away. We got Body Slam. The problem with Body Slam is it's going to fail. It's going to scale off of my physical. It's not going to fail. It's going to scale off of my physical. But we're going to get a ton of bonus damage just because we have so much health. All right, I'm going to do that. We'll have to get rid of one of my moves. I feel like that's not... I feel like it might not be the smartest thing because I'm already sitting comfy with 2 attacks that scale off of ability damage. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Instead, I'm going to go for Sharpen. I'm going to level up my ult. And we're going to go down here. And we're going to check out this question mark. Now, I already know this is going to be one of those games where people are like, Joe, I can't believe you grabbed that upgrade. Are you an idiot? Hey, man. There's a billion ways to play this, a billion directions to go, which is the joy out of a game like this. But I'm also learning. I'm having fun with it. All right, so now that we have a tail, we can get scent marking, which would increase our social stat. But I'm probably going to go further into the cold resistance and heat resistance. Can I see the stat here on the right side? Yeah, so we have 65% heat resistance. 131% cold resistance. Which means I have no issue going into the snow area. Yeah, I think it's smarter for me to stay with this. What the hell are you? I don't know if that character was important or not, but they were kind of scaring me. All right, let's level up our arms naturally. I feel like that's what we would definitely want to go for more feeding distance and ability damage. We got an elite up here. Oh, it's the same one. You're going to die to poison. I think that's the best part of the elites. It's the fact that they drop the mutagen points, which we want to get as many as we possibly can. It's about to be nighttime again. It looks like as soon as nighttime is up, that's when the boss appears. All right, let's level up our tail again. I'm looking at that mainly because it's going to keep increasing our ability damage. And eventually, we can get constriction, or we can stun someone. Again, it's based off of physical, so I'm trying to stay with... That's interesting, actually. Leveling up the tail gives you ability damage, but it evolves into something that scales off of physical damage. Huh. All right, we'll go for tail. Music gets a little spooky when it's nighttime. All right, so that cat isn't that special. I thought it was like a unique enemy because it just wandered up to me. So I can get carry on. Food from animals not killed by you grant extra progress. I mean, that's not terrible. I could get another random ally. That didn't really do anything for me last time. So, you know what? Let's go for carry on. Because we're seeing food all over the map, right? This locked me out of being vegan. Oh no, that's so bad. Greatly increase vegetation progress, but cannot consume meat food anymore. That's rough. That's so specific. All right, so if we happen to interrupt someone's meal, we can just break in there and get some extra experience. Not sure why these guys want smoke. I'm very strong right now. Quick and agile. Swiping physical damage attack. So that would lock us out of the pincers, which does ability damage. So I'm not going to take that. What I think I'll do is we'll level up Beak again. It doesn't look like it actually does anything special by going into this star like I thought. But we will massively increase the damage and get even more feeding speed. No, it looks like we do. So we have Beak Sharp. Beak attacks penetrate enemy plating. So we'd be able to knock out the guys with the shells. Or Beak Long. Can be used on unaccompanied burrows to spawn food and close the burrow. That's not bad, but I feel like I'm not having an issue with food. So I'm going to stick with doing more damage. Let's go Sharp. And so this guy, we can just knock right through. I don't know. Maybe I'm not understanding this. Or maybe he has two separate defense bars. Oh, wow. The beak is way longer. I like that it does change the aesthetic of it. That's actually one of my favorite things about this game. All the little subtle changes to your character. Now, while we can hang out in the snow area without too much of a problem, one thing I don't love is just how slow we are. That's probably where the legs would have come in and helped out quite a bit. But I'm hoping whenever we knock out this boss, we'll get another major evolution, and then maybe I can go in towards legs. All right, fish food or chonky. All these are really specific. I don't want the fish food progress. I don't really want physical increases. The size isn't that bad, but I think I'm actually going to re-roll this. Yo, let's go for that last level on arms. Max that out. Oh my god, that's not a fruit! What? You dropped a ton of meat, though. All right, next boss. What do we got? Who is it? Let me at him. Oh my god. Holy crap. I was not ready for this. All right, I need to use my ult. I'm lucky I have so much health. Because I can just tank this. I can tank everything you can do, man. You mess with the wrong hombre. So we can get tentacles. At level 3, unlocks key arm-based evolutions, like Stoner. We can get wings. Terrain types apply different movement penalties. A higher terrain penalty stat will diminish the impact of those penalties on the player. So this would let me move faster in those terrains, is what I'm assuming. Meanwhile, legs would just let me move faster overall. I'm going to go with legs. We're going to go with legs. Why is it still water? Stop eating that. That's mine. Let's max out fur. Well, there's not much of a reason to. Our cold resistance is fantastic right now. I would actually say most of these are very underwhelming, so let's re-roll. Legendary level up on the Stinger, though. That's not bad. That's not bad. All right. I know Stinger scales off of both physical and ability, but the poison is what I'm the most interested in. All right, let's get out of here. We got places to be. Yeah, we're so fast now. This is amazing. This is incredible. What is that? All right, we got new enemies. Got big freakish frogs. We could heal, but we could get even more health regen. What's my health regen at right now? My regeneration's at 5.2, so every 10 seconds, I'm healing 5 HP. All right, so if I hit you while you're swinging, you can build up some poison damage. You're almost dead. Nice. So that just increases our feeding speed. It's not terribly exciting. Fish food, agile. Let's reroll. Almost maxed out the beak. Detachable tail. When damaged by an enemy or on dodge, leave a fake tail that will take aggro for 2 seconds. That seems so silly. That's also a really good one if you're trying to avoid conflict at any cost. But we're going to go for beak. All right, and so the name of the game is just chow down until this next boss. I wonder if the harder difficulties fill this bar even more. One thing that is incredibly impressive is how big my feeding range is. Like, I can eat things from so far away. That's insane. All right, let's check out this left path. Dude, you don't want this. Trust me, you don't want this. You don't know the things I've done. All right, more regen, more eyes. Carry on. We got that for free, but I'm not seeing a lot of value off of it. We're going to go for even more regen. Because I guarantee you, by the time we get to that last boss, we aren't even going to need to move. We're just going to stand there and take it. Showcase dominance. I don't like this enemy. He makes me nervous. A full level of progress this late in the game is pretty darn good. We're going to do that. We can learn leap. Jump over enemies and obstacles, avoiding any direct impact in the process. Hold for a longer leap. We could slow metabolism, so we would move slower, but we would level up 20% faster. Oh man, that's nice. Okay. Every single time I level this up, though, am I going to get slower and slower and slower? I'm going for the leap. We're going to equip that. So now I can hold space, and we can jump. Get out of here, buddy. You're not that guy. You are also very new. Oh, you're like a little mole. That's cute. All right, there are so many enemies here now. Let us go ahead and get even more mass. Let us get more physical damage, more size, and more max HP, bringing us to almost 170. I don't love when these guys are elites. They take too long to kill. Wait a second. Come here, partner. I wish I could barrow in there. Yeah, there's so many enemies here. There's like absolute chaos. It's kind of turning into a bullet hell now. All right, we're going to max out beak. We're going to go over here because I didn't do anything to create this meat, which means it's going to give me more experience. We already leveled up again. Spur. Very low physical damage attack. Used automatically, even while on cooldown, when the other equipped basic attack is used. Interesting. So it's like a combo attack. I'm going to opt away from that because I don't have any more room for new attacks. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and level up more saliva. Seems to be the safest thing. We're already about to level up again. I feel like at this point, it's just a challenge to see how many new abilities I can get. Oh my god, I could level up legs, and then legs evolve. But I would love a pincer. The pincer seems too good to be true, and the pincer becomes a pistol pincer. Man, I could live out my mantis shrimp dreams. There's so many things I want to get. All right. We're gonna level up the legs. The pincer was nice. I have 2 more legs. I really like how you can see that. I didn't even notice that I have extra arms. We're just looking like an abomination at this point. Pincer. Stinger, okay. Leap also evolves. All that I get by leveling this up, though, is a reduced cooldown, so it's not huge. If I want to continue being the beast that I am, I got to go for the Stinger. More poison damage, more physical damage, and this is a legendary, too. You got to be smart. All right, so let's avoid water. I don't really get too much of an advantage by hanging out in that area. Wow, oh my god, I got so much experience from that one. All right, we're re-rolling this. Dare I re-roll until we get the pincer? I could get another set of legs. Oh my god, Anthropod? You can literally become a spider. Automatically gain arms, but decrease speed. Wow, so you could get legs, like it said, and eventually get arms too without having to waste a slot on arms. All right, well, we're getting Anthropod legs. We're a spider now. Just gotta get myself the eye upgrade. I have to give credit where credit is due. The aesthetics to this game, leveling up and seeing the changes on your character is too cool. It makes you that much more excited every single time you level up. And I would love to see what it's like to make a creature that can swim. All right, there's more eyes right now if I really wanted to be a spider. But I'm re-rolling this, even though this Stinger is legendary. I want the pincer. We're going to keep re-rolling until we get the pincer. Carnivore. That's nice. Toe beans! It's too late. It's too late. We can't go into social. I have to say no. Come on, game. Give it to me. No way. No way. Damn it! I tried so hard. And we circled right back to leveling up the Stinger. I don't think I want poisonous saliva. Jaws, beak, and spit attacks now apply poison. I actually do want poisonous saliva. That's not bad. This is a positive. This is a positive. It's going to give me poison on all of my basic attacks. This is fantastic. It may not have been the pincers we dreamed of, but we are now venomous. In the words of Britney Spears, we are toxic. Oh, there's something straight down here. Let's see what that is. Whoa. Sorry, I saw a monster carrying his dinner. I had to kill him. All right, what is this? A full level of progress or more physical damage. I'm going to see what this does. If it actually just caps me or if it gives me more experience. Cortex. Well, the reroll price has gone down, so I can reroll again. Shifty. Negative size modifiers increase your dodge chance by that amount. The build potential in this game. We could be as small as possible and dodge everything. I don't actually love any of these though, so I'm gonna reroll one more time. And we're just gonna increase our size. We're gonna be chonky. And so it does roll over the XP. So it is 100% worth it. And I think we'll level up our tail again. All right, we have one more objective on the right. Let's head that way. This will give us another level up, right? Yeah, it will. Do I settle on the claws? Do I do it? What is my physical damage right now? Physical damage is 13. We're going to try this again. It's not going to give it to me. It's just not going to happen. Damn it. All right. We could get antlers. Just for the aesthetics at this point. We're going to do it. We're not going to equip the attack. I just want antlers to say I have antlers. The more appendages, the better. All right, we can go ahead and get Stinger maxed out. We need 2 more levels for it. All right, here comes the boss. I hear that stomping. Is this another stump? Claudia. All right, we'll go ahead and decrease the damage taken. I feel like that's a very good option right now. All right, come on, Claudia. I'm not even moving. You don't know who you're messing with right now. Oh, you're a spider boss. Well, everything is crap. You're dead already? All right, so the final boss is not here yet. It's coming soon. Got it. All right, so we won. What, you can take a picture? Oh, it does a screenshot of your stats. That's nice. If you want to share what ridiculous build you got. Nice. Okay, so we got our first victory. And we unlocked difficulty 2. So basic enemies now have increased damage. Challenges unlocked. You now have access to challenges. Each challenge has unique rules which change how the game plays. Dry Age Challenge. Pioneer. Simple. Okay, so these are more modifiers we can do, yeah. Increase the amount of points of interest by 50%. Less evolution choices, but way more mutagen points. So can I see the challenges we've got? Yeah, I can, okay. Sand as far as the eye can see. It's difficulty level 1. You can't get fur or scales. Wow, that's tough, so you're constantly losing health. And if you beat this, you would get odd mutations, and it just gets further and further and further. But just in the playtest, you can do these 4. And we already unlocked a new difficulty as well. So there's a ton of content in this game. That's awesome. That's actually really exciting. I had a lot of fun with this game. I know I was going in blind, just grabbing random stuff and doing whatever stupid things we could do. But I felt like this game was kind of incredible. I love the aesthetics. I love how every single thing you put on your character, you could see it and just become this crazy abomination. And I feel like we barely scratched the surface on what you can actually do as far as build variety goes. The fact that we just unlocked difficulty 2, there's a ton that we can do. If you guys enjoyed Everything is Crab and you want more, let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you guys like the video, and if you have not hit that sub button yet, consider doing so, because that supports the channel way more than you know. That's going to be it for me, and I will see all of you guys next time.